I am Michael Kurosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kurosh, and today we are in Rio de Janeiro, the second largest metropolis in Brazil. It is one of the most beautiful places in the southern hemisphere, and it is where the carnival takes place. Let's explore its architecture, history, and the city itself. Please join us. Rio de Janeiro is the capital of the state of Rio de Janeiro and the second most populous city in Brazil, after Sao Paulo. It is the sixth most populous city in Americas. Part of the city has been designated as a World Heritage Site for its landscapes between the mountain and the sea. Founded in 1565 by the Portuguese, the city was initially the seat of the Captaincy of Rio de Janeiro, a domain of the Portuguese Empire. In 1763, it became the capital of the state of Brazil, a state of the Portuguese Empire. In 1808, when the Portuguese royal court moved to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro became the seat of the court of Queen Maria I of Portugal. She subsequently, under the leadership of her son, the Prince Regent John VI of Portugal, raised Brazil to the dignity of a kingdom within the United Kingdom of Portugal, Brazil, and Algarves. Rio remained as the capital of the pluricontinental monarchy until 1822. When the Brazilian War of Independence began. This is one of the few instances in history that the capital of a colonizing country officially shifted to a city in one of its colonies. Rio de Janeiro subsequently served as the capital of the independent monarchy, the Empire of Brazil, until 1889, and then the capital of a Republican Brazil until 1960. When the capital was transferred to Brasilia. Rio de Janeiro is one of the most visited cities in the southern hemisphere and is known for its natural settings, carnival, samba, bossa nova, and beaches. In addition to the beaches, some of the most famous landmarks include the giant statue of the Christ the Redeemer atop Corcovado Mountain, named one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Sugarloaf Mountain with its cable car, Samba Dome, a permanent grandstand lined Parade Avenue which is used during Carnival, and Maracana Stadium, the world's largest football stadium. It also held the finals of the 1950 and 2014 FIFA World Cups. My son Kehan was very excited to visit that stadium, and as he's a soccer fan, he was elated to see it. Rio de Janeiro was the host of the 2016 Summer Olympics and the 2016 Summer Paralympics, making the city the first South American and Portuguese-speaking city to ever host the events, and the third time the Olympics were held in a Southern Hemisphere city. This is the heart of this city. They love to play soccer, and soccer is their blood. So it's called Maracana, is the largest soccer stadium in the world, and it's good to know the Brazilians have won the World Cup 5 times. Anyway, we'll be back with more Design Santa Barbara after a short break.
Santa Barbara Pizza House is your home for the best pizza in town. Embrace a symphony of flavors and textures with our pizzas. Drawing inspiration from both Chicago's deep dish legacy and Naples' artisanal heritage, our pizzas boast perfectly executed crusts, tantalizing sauces, and the finest mozzarella. Whether you're a seasoned pizza connoisseur or just looking for a delicious meal, our pizza here is sure to satisfy. Featuring specialty pizzas named after iconic Santa Barbara streets, our mouth-watering menu will have you coming back over and over again to try each new meal. We offer a full menu of salads, sides, sandwiches, and desserts. Santa Barbara Pizza House is conveniently located at 515 State Street in the heart of downtown Santa Barbara. Visit us online at sbpizzahouse.com or call and place your order at 805-637-7721. Santa Barbara Pizza House. You won't leave hungry.
Today we are with Jess, the owner and creative director of Just LED at the Santa Barbara Design Center, and he's a marvel of lighting. So I understand there is a new recessed lighting that replaces the old clunky big ones, is more ergonomic, and you carry these. Can you explain to our viewers what this is all about and what kind of benefits they get out of it?
Yes, Michael. Traditionally, 6-inch and 4-inch has been the standard across America. The big clunky trims on the ceiling, you'll see them all over America. Since LED has come to another level on recessed fixtures, and as a designer, we like to see tight little go-away trims that you don't see, they're up in the ceiling. So we have trims that are 3.5 inches that go, the light sits up in the ceiling, so when you walk in it doesn't hit you in the face like the 6 and 4-inch traditional cans used to do. They also dim warm, so it's like the old traditional dimming. Everyone loves LED dimming to the way halogens used to. It's called warm dim, so they dim down nice and warmly. So, and it's all sat above the ceiling and it's all optical, sending shafts of light through the room, creating a great mood in the room.
Well, that's very nice, and I have seen it actually in your showroom. Come down here and see what he has to offer and make your house beautiful and warm. Thank you very much.
No problem.
This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about modern and transitional rugs. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we have over 1,000 modern and transitional rugs at any given time in various sizes and colors. A modern or transitional rug can completely transform your living space. It can make a cold room comfortable or balance out an uneven contrast. We can also custom make the modern rug of your dreams, designed to your specification, taste, and color. And at Santa Barbara Design Center, we can do it faster, better, for less. That's why the top designers in the world use our modern and transitional rugs. To see our vast collection or start designing your custom masterpiece, come visit us at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are in Rio de Janeiro in front of one of the most famous beaches in the world, namely Copacabana. Let's explore a little bit more of this wondrous city. Please join us. Europeans first encountered Guanabara Bay on January 1st, 1502, hence Rio de Janeiro or January River, during a Portuguese expedition under explorer Gaspar de Lemos. Allegedly, the Florentine explorer Amerigo Vespucci participated as observer at the invitation of King Manuel I in the same expedition. In 1555, one of the islands of Guanabara Bay, now called Ville-Gagnon Island was occupied by 500 French colonists. Eventually, this French settlement became too much of a threat to the established Portuguese colony, and in 1560 the order was made to get rid of them. A years-long military aggression was then initiated by the new Governor-General of Brazil. On 20th January 1567, a final defeat was imposed on the French forces, and they were decisively expelled from Brazil for good. The city of Rio de Janeiro proper was founded on March 1st, 1565 by the Portuguese. It was named São Sebastião do Rio de Janeiro, in honor of Saint Sebastian, the saint who was the namesake and patron of the Portuguese then monarch Sebastião. Rio de Janeiro was the name of Guanabara Bay. Until early in the 18th century, the city was threatened or invaded by several mostly French pirates and buccaneers. In the late 17th century, still during the sugar era, gold and diamonds were discovered in the neighboring captaincy of Minas Gerais. Thus, Rio de Janeiro became the most practical port for exporting wealth, including gold, precious stones, and sugar. In 1763, the colonial administration in Portuguese America was moved from Salvador to Rio de Janeiro. The city remained primarily a colonial capital until 1808, when the Portuguese royal family and most of the associated Lisbon nobles fleeing from Napoleon's invasion of Portugal moved to Rio de Janeiro. The kingdom's capital was transferred to the city, which thus became the only European capital outside of Europe. As there was no physical space or urban structure to accommodate hundreds of noblemen who arrived suddenly, many inhabitants were simply evicted from their homes. When Prince Pedro proclaimed the independence of Brazil in 1822, he decided to keep Rio de Janeiro as the capital of his new empire, while the place was enriched with sugarcane agriculture in the Campos region and especially with the new coffee cultivation in the Paraíba Valley. In order to separate the province from the capital of the empire, the city was converted to a neutral municipality in 1834, passing the province of Rio de Janeiro to have Niterói as capital. As a political center of the country, Rio concentrated the political partisan life of the empire. It was the main stage of the abolitionist and Republican movements in the last half of the 19th century. Rio continued as the capital of Brazil after 1889, when the monarchy was replaced by a republic. In May 1894, Thomas Donahue, a British worker from Busby, Scotland, arrived in Rio. Donahue was amazed to discover that there was absolutely no knowledge of football among Brazilians. He wrote to his wife Elizabeth, asking her to bring a football when she joined him. And shortly after her arrival in September 1894, the first football match in Brazil took place in the field beside a textile factory. It was a five-a-side match between British workers and took place 6 months before the first game organized by Charles Miller in Sao Paulo. By 1904, the Bongo Football Club became the first organized team in the country and set into motion a meteoric rise in the beautiful game's popularity amongst Brazilians. At the time Brazil's old republic was established, the city lacked urban planning and sanitation. Pereira Passos, who was named mayor in 1902, imposed reforms to modernize the city, demolishing the corticos where most of the poor population lived. These people, mostly descendants of slaves, then moved to live in the city's hills, creating the first favelas. Inspired by the city of Paris, Pasos built the Municipal Theater, the National Museum of Fine Arts, and the National Library in the city's center, brought electric power to Rio, and created larger avenues to adopt the city to automobiles. Until the early years of the 20th century, the city was largely limited to the neighborhood now known as the historic city center on the mouth of Guanabara Bay. The city's center of gravity began to shift south and west to the so-called South Zone in the early part of the 20th century, when the city tunnel was built under the mountains between Botafogo and the neighborhood that is now known as Copacabana. Expansion of the city to the north and south was facilitated by the consolidation and electrification of Rio's streetcar transit system after 1905. Botafogo's natural environment, combined with the fame of the Copacabana Palace Hotel, the luxury hotel of the Americas in the 1930s, helped Rio to gain the reputation it still holds today as a beach party town. We will be back with more of the lively city of Rio de Janeiro. Please stay tuned.
Santa Barbara Pizza House is your home for the best pizza in town. Embrace a symphony of flavors and textures with our pizzas. Drawing inspiration from both Chicago's deep dish legacy and Naples' artisanal heritage, our pizzas boast perfectly executed crusts, tantalizing sauces, and the finest mozzarella. Whether you're a seasoned pizza connoisseur or just looking for a delicious meal, our pizza here is sure to satisfy. Featuring specialty pizzas named after iconic Santa Barbara streets, our mouth-watering menu will have you coming back over and over again to try each new meal. We offer a full menu of salads, sides, sandwiches, and desserts. Santa Barbara Pizza House is conveniently located at 515 State Street in the heart of downtown Santa Barbara. Visit us online at sbpizzahouse.com or call and place your order at 805-637-7721. Santa Barbara Pizza House. You won't leave hungry.
Today we are with Miss Sherry Bagai from Sherry B Design, and she's our in-house window and drapery specialist. So, Miss Sherry, viewers had a question as why should they actually use window coverings in their home where they can have it free and open and everybody can, God knows, look in and they can look out? Could you explain?
There are many reasons, obviously, but I'm going to give you 6 important reasons that why having window coverings in the house is beneficial to you. Number 1 is the style. You know, with adding window coverings, you can make a room look formal, informal, contemporary. You can definitely bring a style and a warmth to the room. Second one, probably, I think the most important would be privacy. We all want to have privacy inside the house, so honeycomb shades are perfect. They would let the light in, but nobody can see inside and outside. I think the third most important reason would be the light that comes through. If you don't have any window coverings, your wood floor can get faded, your area rugs can get affected by the lights. The next important one would be the energy cost.
Yes.
With the window covering, you can make the room cooler, warmer, and definitely helps you with keeping the cost of your electricity and gas low. Last but not least would be how much value it would add to your home. If you're thinking about selling your home, definitely the right window covering, window treatment makes your home more elegant and more desirable.
More representative.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with all of them. And I highly recommend you, if you're looking for window coverings, come see Sherry B at Santa Barbara Design Center and get the right and proper window covering and add to your home and make your life happier.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Let's talk about my favorite subject, rugs. Here at Rugs & More inside Santa Barbara Design Center, we pride ourselves in offering the finest selection of rugs. With any size, shape, and design imaginable, let us help you find the ideal rug for your home. We have a vast assortment of new and antique rugs. Whether you're looking for a touch of modern or an heirloom that can be passed down for generations, you will find it here. Also, we offer expert repair and cleaning to bring your treasured family rugs back to life. Don't settle for poorly made internet rugs. Let's get real. They are made with harmful chemicals and they don't last. Our rugs are the best for less, and we always offer our 110% lowest price guarantee. And to save even more, come in during our rug sale and let our expert staff guide you to the perfect rug. Rugs & More inside Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Today on Design FYI, we're going to talk about what not to buy when you're going shopping for rugs. Most big outlets or national chains, they sell nowadays hand-tufted rugs. This sounds like it's hand knotted, it's done by hand, but actually they are not. It's called hand-tufted and is actually a gun that rolls the wool around the warp, and they are not good rugs at all. So this is a sample we're having here for you to see. Anything that has a backing like this, flip your rugs over at home, see if it has a backing, is absolutely not good. So what it does is it hides what they did below this thing, which is a latex glue, which actually is toxin. And if you have got any rugs over the net, I hate to say it, over the net, because it's easy to sell and they're inexpensive, you buy these things over the internet. So when it comes to your house, they smell. Have you noticed that? They smell more like a gasoline or more like a diesel because they don't let the latex cure. And the latex that glues this wool to this backing smells a lot. On top of that, they shed quite a lot. The wool is cheap because they need to be inexpensive, and they shed. I would not recommend you to get anything, again, that has a backing and is glued, because it comes apart very easily. It is temporary. It is not a green product because they wear very quickly, end up in the fill, and just basically as a landfill junk we are adding to our planet. The things I would recommend you to get, unlike these things that have backing, is the rugs that they have nuts to them. So as what to buy, I highly recommend you to get some rugs that they are hand knotted. And how you can see, flip it to the back, and you can see the knots are done individually, and each one is slightly different than the next one because they're done by hand, and the intensity of the wool and the pull they have, the weaver, makes them look different. Also, the sides are done by hand. That you can see very easily. If you want to buy a real rug, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center and I can gladly help you. Thank you for joining us on Design FYI, Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive. The Sugarloaf cable car is a cableway system in Rio de Janeiro. The first part runs between Pareia, Vermeja, and Morro de Urca at 722 feet, from where the second rises to the summit of the 1,299-foot Sugarloaf Mountain. The cableway was envisioned by the engineer Augusto Ferreira Ramos in 1908, who sought support from well-known figures of Rio's high society to promote its construction. Opened in 1912, it was only the third cableway to be built in the world. In 1972, the cars were updated, growing from a capacity of 22 to 75, and in 1979, it was featured in an action scene from the James Bond film Moonraker. Today it's used by approximately 2,500 visitors every day. The cable cars run every 30 minutes between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. The views from atop Sugarloaf are indescribable. Just take a look. Christ the Redeemer is an Art Deco statue of Jesus Christ created by French sculptor Paul Landowski and built by Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa in collaboration with French engineer Albert Caco. Romanian sculptor Gheorghe Leonida sculpted the face. Constructed between 1922 and 1931, the statue is 98 feet with a 26-foot pedestal. The arms stretch 92 feet wide. It is made of reinforced concrete and soapstone. Christ the Redeemer differs considerably from its original design, as the initial plan was a large Christ with a globe in one hand and a cross in the other. Although the project organizers originally accepted the design, it later changed to the statue of today with arms spread out wide. The statue weighs 635 metric tons and is located at the peak of the 2,300-foot Corcovado mountain in Tijuca National Park overlooking the city of Rio. The statue is the largest Art Deco style sculpture in the world. The symbol of Christianity around the world, the statue has also become a cultural icon of both Rio de Janeiro and Brazil and was voted one of the new 7 wonders in the world. I hope you enjoyed this episode on Rio de Janeiro. I thank you very much for coming along, getting to know its colorful history and its rich cultural diversity. So we say adios to the city of Carnival and Samba. I'm Michael Kourosh and looking forward to see you next week on Design Santa Barbara.